Right. So today we are diving into wedding dress fabrics.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of a dreamy topic, but also, let's be real,
right.
it can be super daunting.
It can be.
You walk into a bridal salon,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have all these visions of like elegance, but then you're just like hit with this wall of silks and satins and chiffons.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure.
So for today's deep dive,
Okay.
we are using a guide from Darianna Bridal and Tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
They know their stuff when it comes to bridal wear.
Definitely.
So we're going to break down 8 common fabrics.
Okay.
So that when you walk into that salon,
Yeah.
you can feel confident and informed.
Right.
Like you're an expert.
You'll know what to ask for.
Yes. And you'll be able to find the dress.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with crepe.
Okay.
It seems to be everywhere these days.
Yeah.
What's the deal with it?
Well, I think, it's that sleek matte finish.
Yeah.
That's modern, but also kind of timeless.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like the little black dress of wedding dress fabrics.
Oh, okay.
Effortlessly chic and so versatile. And a lot of times it features minimal embellishments, so it's really letting the silhouette just kind of shine.
I see that. It's all about clean lines and letting the drape speak for itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also really comfortable.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah, you don't want to be uncomfortable on your wedding day.
No.
You're going to be dancing all night.
Exactly. You want to be able to move.
Okay.
And crepe is great for that.
So crepe is like our chic, comfy all-arounder.
Yeah, I think so.
What about when you are picturing that like light and airy, kind of like fairy tale wedding?
Ooh, then we're moving into chiffon territory.
Oh.
Chiffon is all about picture yourself twirling on the dance floor
Yeah.
and the fabric swirling around you. It's light, it's
Right.
airy, it gives off that ethereal romantic vibe.
But I've always thought of chiffon as being super delicate.
It can be, yeah.
Is that something to worry about?
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Okay.
It creates that beautiful flowy look, especially in warmer weather,
Yeah.
but it can snag easily.
Oh, okay.
So if you're going for a chiffon dress, maybe rethink those stiletto heels
Oh, yeah, good point.
or be really careful around those beautifully decorated chairs.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Now, for something with a little bit more structure and drama,
You okay?
there's always satin.
Satin.
It just screams luxury, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it really does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason that satin has been a go-to for formal gowns for centuries.
Right.
It's that lustrous sheen.
Yeah.
It instantly elevates a dress,
Mm,
gives it a very regal and sophisticated feel.
I can see that.
Yeah. And it's a heavier fabric,
Okay.
so it holds its shape beautifully.
Oh, okay.
Those classic ball gowns with those full skirts?
Right.
That just kind of glide across the floor.
Yeah.
It's so elegant.
So if you're picturing like a grand ballroom or a winter wedding, maybe where you need a little bit more warmth,
Right.
satin seems like a strong contender.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking for a fabric that strikes a balance between chiffon's fluidity
Mm-hmm.
and satin's sheen,
Okay.
let's talk about charmeuse.
Charmeuse.
Okay, I'm picturing something soft and drapey.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Okay.
It has this incredible silk-like feel.
Oh, wow.
It drapes like a dream, and it is exceptionally soft against the skin,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it a great choice for brides with sensitive skin.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very gentle.
So where do you typically see charmeuse being used?
Well, it's often used for bias cut gowns
Yeah.
where the fabric's cut diagonally to create that really beautiful body-hugging silhouette.
Yeah.
And here's a little insider tip.
Ooh.
Charmeuse is often layered under tulle
Okay.
to kind of add that subtle sheen and depth to, those dreamy, multi-layered skirts.
That's a cool detail.
It's a nice touch. It adds a little something extra.
It sounds like charmeuse can really enhance other fabrics.
Yeah, it can play a supporting role really well.
Speaking of layering, organza is another fabric that comes to mind.
Organza, yes.
Mm.
Organza's light and airy,
Right.
and it has a slightly crisp texture,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll often find it used in tiered skirts
Okay.
because of its ability to hold volume and create those really beautiful cascading effects.
Yeah.
And here's something you might not know.
Okay.
Organza is often finished with horsehair trim
Oh, wow.
to kind of add structure and definition to those tiers and make them stand out even more.
So it's like adding those architectural details.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
adding those little details that really elevate the design.
I love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I've also heard that organza is really travel friendly.
It is.
Is that true?
It's because of that crispness.
Okay.
It resists wrinkles like a champ.
Oh, wow.
So if you're planning like a destination wedding and worried about your dress getting crumpled in a suitcase,
Right.
organza is a great option.
Okay.
It practically packs itself.
All right, let's move on to a fabric that's just synonymous with weddings.
Okay.
Silk.
Silk.
It has that, like, timeless elegance that I feel like never goes out of style.
Silk truly is the queen of wedding fabrics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason it's been coveted for
Yeah.
centuries.
Yeah.
It has this like inherent luxuriousness to it, like
Yeah.
a natural shimmer that makes it look and feel so incredibly special.
But I imagine silk is kind of a broad term. Right?
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
There are so many different types of silk
Okay.
used in bridal wear,
Right.
each with its own unique texture and personality.
Mm-hmm.
So you have dupioni, which has this beautiful, slightly irregular weave
Okay.
that gives it a subtle sheen.
Yeah.
You have mikado, which is known for its smooth and crisp finish.
Okay.
And then you have shantung, which has a slightly slubbed texture that adds a touch of rustic charm.
Wow, so many options within silk alone.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Yeah.
But I will say silk can be more delicate
Okay.
and requires special care, especially when it comes to alterations.
Mm-hmm.
So finding a dress that fits well off the rack is crucial.
All right, that's a really good point to keep in mind.
Yes.
Now let's move on to a fabric that's both classic and playful.
Okay.
Tulle.
Tulle.
Yeah, I feel like you can't hear that word and not picture a ballerina tutu.
It's true.
Right.
Tulle has that like ethereal, almost whimsical quality to it.
Yeah.
It's lightweight, airy.
Okay.
It has this fine net-like texture,
Mhm.
and it's often layered to create volume.
Okay.
And you get that really dreamy, romantic look.
Yeah.
And fun fact, most veils are made of tulle.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you're essentially wearing tulle from head to toe for that ultimate fairy tale effect.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Now we also have English net on our list.
Okay.
How does that compare to tulle?
English net is like tulle's sophisticated older sister. So it has a similar mesh structure,
Mm-hmm.
but it's heavier and holds its shape much better.
Okay.
You can think of it as tulle with a little bit more structure and formality.
Okay.
It's often used for those like dramatic ball gowns
Yeah.
and A-line skirts that make a statement.
So if you want a skirt that's gonna like twirl beautifully and hold its shape,
Right.
English net might be the way to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like chiffon, it can be delicate and prone to snags.
Okay.
So if you're having an outdoor wedding
Right.
or you're planning on doing some serious dancing,
Yeah.
you might want to keep that in mind.
Okay, so we've covered crepe,
Yeah.
chiffon,
Yes.
satin, charmeuse, organza,
I've done a lot.
silk, tulle,
Yeah.
English net.
Yeah, we've got a good foundation here.
Yeah, I feel like we've just scratched the surface of each of these fabrics.
I have.
There's so much more to talk about.
There is.
So, where do we go from here? What do you think?
Well, I think it's time to like connect these fabrics to different wedding styles and themes.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like imagine walking into that bridal salon
Right.
armed with like not only your fabric knowledge, but also like a clear vision of like the overall vibe you want to create.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so we've talked about all these different fabrics.
Yeah, we've got a good foundation.
But, as you were saying, knowing the fabric is just one piece of the puzzle.
It is.
Right? We need to, like, connect this knowledge to the bigger picture.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like, what's the style of the wedding? What's the theme?
Yeah.
What's the overall feeling you're going for?
Exactly.
So, let's start by picturing some, like, common wedding scenarios.
Okay, yeah.
So, if our listener is dreaming of, like, a bohemian outdoor wedding
Mm-hmm.
that has, like, a relaxed, romantic vibe,
Okay.
what kind of fabrics would we steer her toward?
Okay, well, for that, like, free-spirited, ethereal look.
Yep.
I would say chiffon and lace immediately come to mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe even some, like, strategically placed macrame details for a touch of, like, boho chic.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's chiffon because it's flowy and airy.
Right.
Perfect for an outdoor setting.
And it has that kind of, like, Grecian goddess vibe.
Yes.
A little bit of a fairy tale princess thing going on.
Yeah.
And then lace adds that touch of romantic whimsy
Mm-hmm.
that really complements that bohemian aesthetic.
All right. What if our listener is envisioning more of a classic fairy tale wedding,
Okay.
like in a grand ballroom.
In a grand ballroom.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're shifting gears to fabrics that have a little more elegance and sophistication. So I'm thinking satin, silk, and tulle. Those all have like a timeless quality that's just perfect for a more formal setting.
Okay, so satin for that, like structured, regal look.
Yes.
Silk for a touch of luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And tulle for that, like dreamy, princess-like feel. It's giving me like major Cinderella vibes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, now let's say our listener wants something completely different.
Okay.
She's going for a modern, minimalist wedding
Okay.
with clean lines, a focus on like architectural details.
Yeah, I love that.
What fabrics would you suggest for that vibe?
For that sleek contemporary look, I would go with crepe or Mikado silk.
Okay.
Both of those fabrics have that really smooth,
Right.
unfussy finish that just like complements the minimalist aesthetic beautifully.
Yeah, it's chic and sophisticated.
It is.
But without being too ornate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, could you incorporate something like organza into a minimalist look?
You definitely could.
Okay.
Organza with its like crisp texture and its ability to hold volume
Yeah.
could add a touch of like architectural interest.
Oh, okay.
Imagine like a statement bow
Yeah.
or a sculptural detail on a simple crepe gown.
I love that.
Yeah, it creates a really stunning focal point
Yeah.
without overwhelming the minimalist aesthetic.
So it's like playing with textures and shapes while keeping the overall look clean and modern.
Yes, exactly.
I'm really into this.
It's all about finding that perfect balance, you know, between your personal style and the overall vibe you want to create for your wedding.
So it's almost like you're like painting a picture
It is.
with fabric.
Yeah.
You're using different textures and, kind of like creating a masterpiece.
Each fabric has its own like unique language.
Right.
And it can evoke like different emotions and associations.
Yeah. So beyond just the visual style, there's also like the feeling you want to create.
Totally.
So do you want to feel like a graceful goddess in like flowing chiffon?
Right, or maybe you want to channel old Hollywood glamour and sleek satin.
Ooh, yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
I love
That's really about like what speaks to you.
Yeah, these are such great questions to like ask yourself when you're browsing through dresses.
Yes, definitely.
It's not just about how the fabric looks, but how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
And, I think it's worth saying that there are no hard and fast rules here.
No, not at all.
Right. Like, don't be afraid to break away from tradition and experiment with different combinations.
What is that?
Like, maybe you fall in love with a silk dress for a beach wedding.
Yeah.
Or you choose a sleek crepe gown for, like, a black tie affair.
Right, it's your day.
Yeah.
It's all about what feels right for you.
I love that. It's all about making choices that feel authentic to you and, like, your vision for the day.
Exactly.
All right. So we've talked about fabrics, styles, themes. What other factors should our listener keep in mind as she kind of navigates this wedding dress world?
Well, I think one thing that's really important to consider is the venue.
Oh, okay.
And the season.
Right.
So, for example, a heavy satin gown might not be the best choice for a beach wedding in July.
Yeah, that's so true.
You don't want to be like uncomfortable and restricted.
Right. Buy your dress on such an important day.
No.
On the other hand, a lightweight chiffon dress might leave you feeling a little chilly.
Right.
If you're having a winter wedding in like a drafty ballroom.
That's a good point.
So it's all about striking a balance, right? Between style and practicality.
You want to look stunning, but you also want to be comfortable. And confident throughout the day.
Exactly.
And what about the budget?
Oh, the budget. Yes.
Some fabrics are definitely more expensive than others.
Right.
Like silk and lace.
Yes, definitely.
They get pretty pricey.
Yeah, so it's important to like set a realistic budget from the start and just let your consultant know what your price range is.
Yeah, because I can imagine it's easy to get like swept away by all the beautiful dresses.
It is. It happens to the best of us.
And just like lose track of how much you're spending.
Exactly. So having that clear budget in mind will really help you narrow down your options.
Right. And avoid any like unexpected surprises.
Okay, I think that is a great point to move on to part 3.
Let's do it.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier about the like feeling you want to create.
Right.
We talked about all the practicalities of fabrics and,
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
Right.
But choosing the right fabric is also like
Oh, yeah.
deeply personal.
It really is.
You know?
It is, yeah.
It's more than just the dress, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's about like capturing the essence
Exactly.
of that day.
Yeah.
And holding on to those feelings.
The dress that you choose becomes like a symbol of your wedding day.
Oh, wow.
It's like a tangible representation of the love and the joy, you know,
Yeah.
that you experience.
So as you're trying on dresses,
Yeah.
take a moment to like really connect
Okay.
with how each fabric makes you feel.
Yeah.
You're not just choosing a dress, you're choosing a feeling.
Yeah. Does a flowing chiffon dress evoke a sense of romanticism and whimsy? Does a structured satin gown make you feel empowered and confident?
Yeah.
Pay attention to those feelings because those are the ones that'll stay with you long after the wedding day is over.
They become woven into the fabric.
Literally and figuratively.
Of your memories.
Exactly.
Right.
Beautifully said.
And remember, there's like no right or wrong answer here.
No, there's not.
You know, it's your day, your dress, your story.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your instincts.
Yes.
You know, when you find the right dress, you'll just know.
You will. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
And it will feel like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll just radiate confidence and joy.
And honestly, a bride who feels amazing in her dress,
Yeah.
that's what truly makes a wedding unforgettable.
That's it. That's the key.
So I think we've given our listener
We've given them a lot.
to think about today.
We have.
We started with like a simple guide to fabrics.
Yeah.
And we ended up like exploring wedding styles,
Personal expression.
the like emotional power of a dress.
It's been a journey.
It has.
Yeah.
So to our listener,
Yes.
go forth and conquer that wedding dress search.
You've got
the knowledge, the inspiration.
Now it's time to find the dress of your dreams.
Yes.
And remember, it's not just about the dress.
Right.
It's about the love and the joy that you'll be celebrating. Have fun. Enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Let your unique personality shine through.
Until next time, happy dress hunting.